An interesting thing I do want to talk about before we get into these games about the MLB, though, is they have brought in a couple rules from the COVID season, the shortened season, like the runner on second in extra innings, and the shortened 7 inning double headers that they're doing right now. I'm not really a fan of either, to be honest. If they were going to keep anything from that season, I would have preferred just the universal DH. What about you?
I'm okay with the rule changes. I guess I prefer 9 inning doubleheaders, but honestly, it probably improves like the quality of the game, you know? It's a little weird though, like to play a shortened baseball game.
Yeah.
I don't it is a little weird. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite rule change, but I'm okay with it. The runner on second, I hate to admit it, I kind of like it. I don't really like I mean I do enjoy watching the 22 inning game, Higgins, but it really screws up the team for the next 2 or 3 days. And, that's no fun to root for these teams and then basically win one game and, struggle to build a rotation. You have to get some guys some rest in there. If a catcher catches, think about it, 18 innings, that's 2 games worth of innings in one night. So he needs some rest. So you're losing a lot of pieces from your teams in these extended extra inning games. So in the grand scheme of things, I think the runner on second makes a lot of sense. Might keep some pitchers healthy. Might keep some catchers healthy. So I'm kind of for that one.
I will say, for live betting purposes in baseball, the runner on second late in the game, if it is a close game, if it might be tied in the eighth inning, taking a live over, because if it goes to extra innings and they start with a runner on second, that can easily hit some of these overs very quickly. It seems to bloat these scores up a little bit to me.
Yeah, I think it obviously makes it a little bit easier to score. I think we all agree. Man on second, no outs. These are all professional hitters, so I totally understand that thought process. It might not be the most fair thing to do to these pitchers, but I think for the health of the game, it's probably the best thing.
Yes, let's jump into Thursday's games now, though, Brett. I think we've waited long enough. I'll be honest. I'm gonna surprise you here because I'm betting in the Phillies Mets game, but I'm not betting with Degrom and the Mets. Specifically, I'm betting against the Mets when they start Degrom because this is the first I'm gonna really start doing this. But the stats are solid against it. The Mets have robbed him of a lot of wins and 78 starts since 2019. He's 36 and 42.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Fade the
So,
best pitcher in baseball. Like
but I'm not fading the best pitcher. I'm fading the team of the best pitcher because
hey, look, I understand your logic. I get what you are saying, Higgins. You will not catch me fading the best pitcher in baseball. But yeah, you're right. The Mets don't win when DeGrom is out there.
this is going to be a listed pitcher MLB money line bet. Phillies plus 190 because if it's not DeGrom, I think the Mets will probably end up beating the Phillies at home because the Phillies are 1-4 on the road so far to start the year. It's not very comforting. The Mets are 3-1 at home, but the last time DeGrom was out on the mound, he got one of the Mets' 3 hits that night. He pitched a gem of 8 innings and didn't get the win. It's a theme that has happened with his career of late, and I'm gonna ride it because I think plus 190 is excellent value for that.
Yeah, I just to play I kind of disagree. I think to bet against DeGrom, that number would have to be in the 200s for me. I'd have to be getting at least 2 for 1 of my money, but I totally see your logic, Higgins. There's no arguing the Mets do not do anything to help out our superstar pitcher. So, I mean, do I really hate it? No. Would I fade the best pitcher in baseball at plus 190? I'd at least need 2 for 1 on my money. But, I respect it, Higgins. I got to say, I hope you get crushed tomorrow. The Mets, while we were recording this, did win. Right before started recording this, they did win 5-1 against the Phillies and looked pretty good doing it. So I'm hoping the Mets are just a little hot right now, feeling themselves, and can carry over this confidence into a DeGrom start.
Okay, okay. I mean, if it's the value that's not good enough and you need at least 2 for 1 to bet against DeGrom, I understand that. Plus 190. It's good enough for me. I definitely would like it above 200, obviously, but it's
Oh,
going to be a
yeah.
listed pitcher bet. It's going to be a listed pitcher bet.
Again, Higgins. I understand the logic. I can't hate you on it, but I'm also going to be in the NL East tomorrow too, Higgins. The Marlins take on the Braves. Rogers has been unbelievable for the Marlins, Higgins, and he's starting versus Ian Anderson. I'm honestly just thinking the Marlins have outperformed expectations. The Braves have kind of struggled out of the gate. They're, I mean, Ronald Acuna's been amazing. I don't know what the rest of the team's been doing, but the Marlins, keep winning baseball games, keep keeping it close. Their pitchers have looked good. I think Miami at plus 1.5, at minus 126 juice. That's okay for me to eat. I'd rather have the extra run there as a way to kind of back myself in case, the Braves in their last licks get hot. But I think Miami should be leading going into the ninth in this one, Higgins.
And you're backing Rogers, who, to be honest, in his past 2 outings has gone a total of 10 innings and only allowed 2 runs so far. He was the one against DeGrom on the 10th that the Mets ended up losing in the ninth, unfortunately. So backing Marlins with Trevor Rogers, not a bad call, I'd say, at all.
Yeah, and then kind of kind of like your logic with fading DeGrom, I am fading the Pittsburgh Pirates, Higgins. Chris
I
Paddock.
was thinking of making this pick too, by the way. I was thinking of I almost made it too. The value wasn't rich enough for me.
I got you. Yeah, to be honest with you, I was like, I kind of just want to bet another game, and this one kind of felt right. Chris Paddock starting for the Padres. He's I don't know if you'd still consider him a prospect. I guess he's still a prospect. He's probably the top pitching prospect in the Padres organization right now, and he's a borderline fifth starter for them. He's been a little up and down in the early start of his career, but the Pittsburgh Pirates are beat up and bad, Higgins. So I am taking San Diego minus 1.5 at plus 102. I just honestly, I think I would take San Diego minus 1.5 all season against the Pirates if every time the juice was plus money.
Yeah, I mean, and they're facing off against Mitch Keller, who hasn't had an outstanding start so far in the season, and he's only pitched against the Chicago Cubs. He pitched twice, and it was both times against the Cubs. Going to face a little tougher lineup with the San Diego Padres here, so I like the call. While you're going to be on those run lines, though, I'm sticking with the money lines because I also made a second pick on Thursday in baseball, Brett. I'm going with the West Coast versus East Coast matchup, Arizona in Washington. And I'm taking the Diamondbacks on the money line here. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks on the money line here. And it's because Patrick Corbin is on the mound for the Nationals potentially.
Yeah, okay.
Patrick Corbin has a 12.46 ERA through his 1 outing. Now, let's be fair, that outing was against the Dodgers. He went 4 1/3 and allowed 6 runs.
Yeah, it's a tough start for Corbin. He is a former Diamondback, so a little bit of a, I don't know, do you call it a revenge game if you leave via free agency for a huge deal? Can it be a revenge game?
Hmm, I don't think so. I don't. There's not necessarily bad blood then. I don't think. If you left free agency, you served your team well, and then you just left for greener pastures.
All right, fair enough. So not a revenge game for Corbin. Revenge game for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks are going to show him you should have stayed over here. We're going to beat you on your new home field and show you that it's our field still.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So plus 148 on the money line. I like this because neither of these teams have been outstanding to start, but at least Arizona has 2 wins on the road. The Nationals just have 1 win at home to start the season, so going to take the D-backs on the road. They've been on the road a lot more this season, too, with 7 total games on the road, so I'm not too worried about it overall with the West Coast on the East Coast right now.
Fair enough, Higgins. Before we get out of here, I want to point out one more thing. The Boston Red Sox, Higgins, have won 9 in a row, and I have no idea when it's going to stop. I can't believe they've ever won 9 in a row with this roster they assembled this year. So, kudos to the Red Sox. They are just on fire right now. And, if people were not aware, this team started 0-3, and they're currently 9-3 at our recording. So,
winning both of a back-to-back doubleheader today, too, by the way, to make it 9-0.
Yeah, so they're playing good baseball, Higgins. So maybe that's a team we need to start paying attention to.
Or hopping on the money line train. It might be too late. It may have already taken off for the next station at this point.